pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The microphones work.
I'll check it out.
Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws 1975, this is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of regular meetings on the bulletin board of the municipal building, by mailing the annual notice of regular meetings for 2013 to the News Record and Star Ledger in December 2012, and by filing said notice in the office of the Township Clerk.
Mr. Brownlee?
Here.
Mrs. Larrier?
Here.
Ms. Leventhal?
Here.
Mr. Ryan?
Here.
Mayor DeLuca?
Here.
Whereas Chapter 231 Public Laws 1975, commonly known as the Open Public Meetings Act, requires that all meetings of public bodies be open to the public, and whereas Section 7 provides that the governing body has the discretion to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation of the public at any meeting, and whereas the desire of this governing body to comply with the provisions of this Act, same time to conduct its business in an orderly and expeditious manner, now therefore be resolved by the Township Committee, the Township of Maplewood, does hereby prohibit, except as set forth in the formal agenda, active participation in the deliberations of the governing body by the public, and except as otherwise prescribed by law, does limit the public to the observation of the actions and discussions of the governing body at all of its regular and special meetings.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. Good evening. Sorry for the delay. We were going over some appointments for volunteer boards and committees for next year, which we'll be announcing in a couple of minutes. Our first item on the agenda will be a public comment session. Anyone who wants to speak to the Township Committee, just come up to the microphone, give us your name and address, and share your comments with us. After that, we have an ordinance on final passage, the redevelopment plan for the public service electric and gas redevelopment site, which is on the corner of Boyden Avenue and Springfield Avenue. We have one discussion item, and that's the 2014 Township Committee reorganization and assignments. Our consent agenda consists of some resolutions on contracts for recycling, cancellation of unredeemed checks, application for a grant, balances in funds, closing some contracts, minutes of previous meetings. And if you need to get an agenda, we have it up here on the clerk's desk. After that, we will come back and have a second public comment period, and then reports from departments, administrative reports, reports from elected officials, and then we will adjourn. After we adjourn, we'll reconvene as the Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission, and we'll have a hearing on a person-to-person transfer of a liquor license from the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company to Pradesh LLC Plenary Retail Distribution License 0711-44-002-001. Sounds like something. Yeah, boy, that was not easy. We're going to do appointments right now so that we can get this clear. And all I have to do is just find my sheet that we had here. And what I'd like to do is read off the appointments, and then at the end we can do one motion and a vote. For affordable housing, we want to reappoint Susan Joseph. For the Environmental Advisory Committee, Ms. Leventhal, we're going to appoint
Vicki Arlen and Kirk Shore.
Okay. Emergency Management Committee, we're going to reappoint Harold Bobrow. Historic Preservation Commission, we're going to reappoint Eric Hammerberg. Local Assistance Board, we're going to reappoint Michelle Bobrow. Rent Leveling Board, we're going to reappoint Brenda Ross and Maria Lombardino. Swimming Pool Advisory Committee, we're going to reappoint Kathy Hoovler. The Open Space Trust Fund, we have three reappointments.
Andrea Marino, Nicholas Graham, and Vicki Arlen as the rep from the Environmental Advisory Committee.
Okay. And the Zoning Board of Adjustment, we're going to reappoint Larry Seltzer. I believe those are all the individuals at this time that have indicated an interest. Can we get a motion?
I move those appointments.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Mr. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you. Okay, we're now going to go into our first public comment session. If there's anyone who would like to address the Township Committee, please come on up.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Phil Masucci. I live at 9 Florida Street here in Maplewood. I have an issue with parking a commercial vehicle on my property. I'm a sole proprietor of the business, and I just moved here into the house in June, but I've been a long-time resident of Maplewood. Went to Maplewood Middle School and Columbia High School as well. I understand that it's been the law not to have commercial vehicles on your property for some time now. I'm looking to just change that, because the problem is I'm like an emergency plumber. I do emergency work. I can be called out at any time. Like on Saturday, I was called out 3 or 4 times when I came home and had to go back out. So for me to park my vehicle somewhere else would be like a really big inconvenience. I also pay for a parking spot for another van that I have already. I was told that I could park it in Union, but the problem is that I have a lot of tools on that truck and I need it secure. And there's no place that's more secure than in my driveway, for me, at least.
What we typically do with these kinds of requests is we refer it to one of the standing committees we have. We do have a standing committee on code enforcement, but it's not going to be meeting until next year. Don't know exactly when, but we wouldn't be able to address the issue right away. That's what I'm saying. I think we could take a look at it and maybe think, I mean, we've done this, and I know you referenced it in your letter to us about cabs.
Right.
It took a little while to do that.
Right.
So I'm just concerned that you're going to get tickets in the interim.
Well, I was told by the code enforcer that he would give me to the January 20th to leave the vehicle in the driveway.
Okay.
If something gets done before then. If not, maybe he'll give me a little more time or something.
All right, so as long as we have
I have a little bit of time.
You're already not in danger of getting ticketed if we don't act on something tonight. Okay,
no,
good.
I spoke to them already.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so the incoming chair of the code enforcement, we could probably deal with this in and around that period of time. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Good night.
Good luck, Phil.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the Township Committee? Okay, seeing no one, we will close the first public comment period. There'll be another public comment period later on tonight. We have an ordinance on final passage, and I believe the mover is going to be Ms. Leventhal?
Yes, it is.
That's correct, and the seconder is going to be
Mr. Ryan?
Me, right?
Mr. Ryan.
Okay.
We have an ordinance on final passage.
Mr. Mayor, Ordinance 2738-13 is adopting a redevelopment plan for the Public Service Electric and Gas Redevelopment Site, 186-238 Boyden Avenue. This ordinance will adopt a redevelopment plan for the property known as the Public Service Electric and Gas PSE&G Site.
Okay, this is a time that I would ask anyone who might want to speak on this particular ordinance to come up and share your comments with the Township Committee. Anyone want to speak on this ordinance, which is the redevelopment plan for the Public Service Electric and former Public Service Electric and Gas property? Seeing no one, will close the public hearing. Mr. Desiderio?
I don't know if Mr. Ryan wants to report on this.
Can't hear you.
Mr. Ryan's going to report on it.
Mr. Ryan?
I was going to say that, you know, since this is an amendment to zoning code, pursuant to the law, it was referred to the planning board for its review. This is actually the second time the planning board looked at it. The planning board reviewed a draft of it at its November meeting, and, suggested some modifications which we incorporated. They reviewed the draft, the final version of it last Tuesday, and unanimously determined that the adoption is consistent with the master plan and recommends that the committee adopt the redevelopment plan in the form that was submitted. They had some comments that they said they didn't feel the concerns warranted changes in the plan, and
There was one change. That's the one that...
there's a piece of language that they said was redundant. Recommends that paragraph 3A2B be eliminated as it is redundant of language outlined in Section 1 permitted principal uses. Mr. Edelson said that he didn't think that was a substantive change, so...
This is redundant. So when we republish the plan, or when we make the plan public, again, that should be taken out.
I mean, they discussed, pedestrian circulation and traffic circulation, which is the things that whoever ends up coming up with a site plan for that area is going to have to do some extensive work on and satisfy everyone. So that's where we're at.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move this ordinance be adopted as a whole and the clerk be directed to publish the same as a passed ordinance in the Maplewood South Orange News Record according to law.
Second.
Any discussion? This is adopting the plan, been reviewed by the planning board, recommending that we move forward with it. Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier? Yes. Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you. We're now at discussion items, and that is 2014 committee assignments and liaisons. And I sent out, based on conversations that I've had with everyone, a schedule here. So I'll just go through this just to make sure we're all on the same page. We have 10 standing committees. Our code enforcement, the chair will be Ms. Larrier, Mr. Brownlee will be a member, and I will be a member. Communications, Mr. Brownlee will be the chair, Mr. Ryan will be a member, and Mrs. Larrier will be a member. Cultural affairs, Mr. Ryan will be the chair, and I will be a member. Economic development, I will be the chair, Ms. Leventhal will be a member, and Mr. Ryan will be a member. Environmental, Ms. Leventhal will be the chair, I will be a member. Finance, I will be the chair, Ms. Leventhal will be a member, and Mr. Brownlee will be a member. Planning and engineering, Mr. Ryan will be the chair, I will be a member, and Ms. Leventhal will be a member. Public safety, Mr. Brownlee will be the chair, I will be a member, and Mrs. Larrier. In public works, Ms. Leventhal will be the chair, and Mr. Brownlee will be a member. And last, recreation and human services, Mrs. Larrier will be the chair, and the members are Ms. Leventhal and Mr. Ryan. That means that each of us will chair 2 of the 10 standing committees. Mrs. Larrier will serve on 4 committees, Mr. Brownlee 5, Mr. Ryan 5, Ms. Leventhal 6, and DeLuca 7. On the liaison, oh boy, this got cut off, okay. Affordable housing, I will be the liaison. Bergdorf Board of Trustees, DeLuca Ryan will be the liaison. Citizen Budget Advisory Committee, Brownlee will be the liaison. Community Coalition on Race, Brownlee will be the liaison. Duran-Hedden, I have Mr. Ryan, is that correct?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's right,
We're
okay.
going to switch up all that, yeah.
Okay. Environmental Advisory is Ms. Leventhal. Essex County Municipal Council Exchange, Leventhal and Brownlee. Essex County Solid Waste Advisory Council is Leventhal. Historic Preservation, I have Larrier. Is that switching?
We're switching.
Okay, Mr. Ryan. How much money was passed? No.
No money was passed.
The Green Team, Ms. Leventhal. Holocaust, Ms. Leventhal. Local Assistance, Mrs. Larrier. Maplewood Arts Council, Mr. Ryan. Maplewood Community Garden, Ms. Leventhal. Maplewood Drug Alliance, Mrs. Larrier. Maplewood Village Alliance, DeLuca, Office of Emergency Management, DeLuca, and Mrs. Larrier as President of the Board of Health. Open Space Trust, Ms. Leventhal, Roadway River Task Force, Ms. Leventhal. Sorry. Recreation Advisory Committees, Mr. Ryan. Springfield Avenue Partnership, Mr. DeLuca. Senior Citizens is Leventhal. South Orange Maplewood TV is DeLuca. Swimming Pool Advisory is Leventhal. Now, YouthNet, did you switch?
Yes.
Okay. So YouthNet will be Ms. Larrier. Okay. Board of School Estimate, DeLuca, Leventhal, Brownlee, with Mr. Ryan as an alternate.
Want to be the alternate? Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Joint meeting of Essex and Union, Ms. Leventhal. Chamber of Commerce, DeLuca, Maplewood Library Board of Trustees, DeLuca, Maplewood Planning Board, DeLuca, and Ryan. And then, I believe those are all the liaison committees, and then for mayor, we have DeLuca, Deputy Mayor, Leventhal, Board of Health President, Ms. Larrier. Ms. Larrier. That's everything?
That's everything.
Okay, so that's what we put up on January 1st.
Can I get a copy of that?
Yes.
You weren't listening?
I was listening.
Well, we had made some changes, so I will get you a copy of it. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. I know this is going to sound weird, but we're going to do our next second public comment period already.
What about consent agenda?
Oh, okay. Consent agenda. Sorry, we'll delay it by a couple of seconds.
I move for the adoption of the items on the consent agenda.
Second.
Any discussion on the
Are the
items?
minutes in the consent agenda? The minutes from the last meeting?
Are the minutes? The minutes are here. Yes.
As part of the last meeting? I have
Yes.
one correction. I'm sorry.
One correction.
Yes. Actually, I just saw it this afternoon.
Correction on the minutes.
Okay, there was one correction, and actually, instead of saying the post office, it was supposed to say 60W, and that was a change.
Okay, I have one additional one.
Okay?
Okay. It was on page 6, paragraph 3. Let's see. Sorry about that. Minutes. Page 6, paragraph 3. Comment attributed to Ms. Larrier. Said her understanding was that it would preclude the township from doing anything. I believe it's would not preclude the township from doing anything. This is with regard to the designation? Yes. It would be would not, correct? Yes, and it says would. So, one word, but makes a world of difference.
Okay.
We want to get that straight. So you're going to make that correction. Okay, so with the corrected minutes, we have a motion moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. Okay, now we're at the public comment. Is there anyone who would like to address the Township Committee? Okay, seeing no one, will close that public comment. Administrative reports, Mr. Manning? None.
None. Sorry, it was on. Any questions?
Well, I just want to announce, because we talked about this under contracts inside, but you did receive, and you reported that you received two responses to the operation
RFP.
of the former Women's Club,
Yes.
and that we're referring that to our Cultural Affairs Standing Committee, those two responses, to talk about the next step and how we're going to move forward.
That is correct.
And the township is going to maintain the building beginning January 1st when the HK Projects
Vacates the premises.
contract is over,
Yes.
their arrangement. Okay.
Sorry.
Anything else for Mr.
Questions?
Manning? Why don't you just, well, I can announce it. We are correct me if I'm wrong, we are going to start our budget hearings on January 4th?
That is correct.
And
The 11th
and the
and the
11th and the
25th so
25th.
far.
And you've scheduled different departments to come between 9 and 12:30?
Yes.
Okay.
And we can put a schedule up. So
Yeah, that would be
people
good to
aware.
put that up on the, and
Yes.
then we're also going to televise that too, right?
They will be televised, yes.
Great. Anything else for Mr. Manning? Mr. Desiderio?
3 quick items, Mayor. I will tell you that I did receive from the engineering department bids for the Women's Club renovation, so we'll review those, and I would assume probably...
Is this working?
Just use this one.
And better?
Better.
And I assume that an award of contract, a resolution will be on for January 7th with regard to that. Secondly, we did negotiate another extension with the post office through March the 9th, 2014, which is another 60 days. They have committed to us that they have a new site and that they are in the process of finalizing their agreement and will then initiate their renovations. I do want to say that that they are paying approximately $15,300 per month in rent. So the lease extension is beneficial to the township. It's not that they're staying there without paying rent.
We need a motion?
Yes, we need a motion to extend the lease with the post office through March the 9th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Mr. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes.
And lastly, I earlier today sent to you a copy of an order that was signed by the judge in the Passaic River litigation wherein he approved the settlement. Just to refresh your recollection, this is the case where effectively the township is going to pay $95,000 towards the overall settlement. The state has agreed to take that in 2 payments with from state aid that would be processed on a go-forward basis. I spoke to Mr. Manning. The 2013 state aid has been paid, so this would go forward into the 2014 for budget purposes. But that decision of the judge is subject to appeal. The one non-settling entity is Occidental Petroleum, which is the heavy in the case, the Agent Orange, the successor to the Agent Orange manufacturer, and in all likelihood they will appeal that. But at this point there is a signed order, so we're hopeful. We have pursued a claim against the insurance carriers on behalf of the township for both the settlement cost and for all the attorney's fees and other costs associated. There is a proposal from the insurance companies. We cannot recommend at this time that we entertain that proposal until we know that the settlement is final, because if it's not, we don't want to be in a situation where we're settling without knowing what the costs are. So we're keeping those avenues open, and hopefully this thing won't get appealed. The 45 days will run. We'll be able to come back to you with some kind of proposal with regard to the insurance companies.
Great.
So, okay.
Yes, Mr.
Question
Ryan.
for Mr. Desiderio, I'm sorry. I apologize for not asking you this earlier. At our last meeting, we had reported that these folks were interested in trying to do some, the Nancy Drew potential commemoration, and somebody was going to reach out to you to...
I spoke with her, and she's supposed to get back to me, but we have not spoken since the last meeting.
Okay.
Okay? Basically, she wanted to do her research, and I was going to be a resource to her if she needed me.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate it.
And Mayor, I did hear from Mr. Breaker from Irvington, actually yesterday, and he told me that he did not draft that ordinance, but that he will do the research. If someone in Irvington did draft it, okay, and he will do the research and get back to me with the specifics. So he's not ignoring me.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we also talked about the PSE&G contract purchaser. Where are we with that?
Yeah. I spoke to Mr. Scotland, our redevelopment counsel, with regard to it. And basically there are just too many moving parts for us to now recommend to you to designate a redeveloper. And those moving parts are on the developer side, not our side. They have to figure out what they want to do in terms of which entities are going to be. So they have the ball at this court. Mr. Scotland's office has spoken to them, to Mr. Cherry. So we are expecting to hear back from them, and we'll report to you as soon as we get something definitive.
Great, thank you. Anything else from Mr. Desiderio? Ms. Fritzen?
Okay, just a couple things, Mayor. We began with the 2014 parking jitney combos, hybrids, permits today. We're open actually till 8 to help out commuters that were coming off the train to be available. Certainly the 2013 permits go into about the third week in January with a grace period, and the jitneys as well. Working on New Year's Day, as everybody knows, and progressing. New Year's Day, the Township's annual reorganization meeting begins at 12 noon sharp, and the invitations have all gone out along with the dignitaries and additional lists that some of you have had. And you've selected a theme, so we'll be working on the proclamation, and I think we're moving ahead. We have our singer, working on the clergy, and so forth. Now would be the time.
Ms. Fritzen, with that, I got a message on my phone here. Linda from the governor's office called to say that he is not available that day.
He must have gotten our invitation.
He did. They thanked us for the invitation, but they're not available.
Okay.
But I thought it was nice that they called.
Yes. My other thing is, as soon as you know, we start putting in the public notices for 2014 for all the subcommittees that, the 10 subcommittees that meet and that you all chair, at least 2 of them, and your office hours and whatever other activities that we need to do public notices on, the sooner the better. And I'll take that anytime you have them. Thank you. Okay,
thank you. Anything from Ms. Fritzen? Yes.
Could you clarify, when you said the third week of January is the grace period for the jitney passes, because since the year starts in the middle of the week, when is the actual last date?
Usually give the people 2 late nights. So I'd say the second late night's the 21st, so I'll go to the following Monday.
So on the 27th of January,
Yep.
They need to have a new jitney pass?
Yeah, I think it's fair to give 2 late nights.
Okay, no, I just didn't know. Just wanted to
And
clarify.
then we'll just shoot to the next Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Reports from elected officials. Mr. Brownlee?
No report, Mayor.
Ms. Leventhal?
I'd just like to give a shout out to our public works staff and their boss, Eric Burbank. Thank you so much. The storms that we've been having have been not the worst, but they certainly have come at the worst times for our staff who have been working hours and hours through the night last week. Thank you.
Mr. Ryan?
I have no report, Mayor. Thank you.
Mrs. Leventhal? Mrs. Larrier, sorry.
Got anything else, Ken?
Only that this Saturday, the 19th, the Humane Society will be back here for low-cost spay and neutering. They also do vaccinations and some minor stuff. I plan on bringing my cat to get rid of some, to clip down some nails. And also just to remind everyone that rabies vaccinations must be up to date through September 2014.
Great. I have 5 things. Actually, one to hand out. No, that has your name on it. The Troop 21 Boy Scouts of America has sent a letter to each of us asking us to, or inviting us to attend their Eagle Scout ceremony on January 10th. Oh, nice. I spoke to members of my number 2 item. I spoke to members of Maple Woodstock, and I suggested to them that they should come on January 21st to make their request for their beer garden for this year's Maple Woodstock. So they'll be here. We'll put them on the agenda for the 21st of January. The 7th is pretty busy because we have the dog and cats.
Is that confirmed?
Is that confirmed?
That's
confirmed.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's confirmed.
Wouldn't want anybody snarling at us over that.
10 minutes.
Are you, Mayor, back to the Troop 21 thing. Are you looking for a volunteer for this?
No, I'm not sure if I'm going or not, but I will let you know if I am.
I am, for sure. 'Cause
Okay.
at least for one of these kids was in the troop with my son, so.
Okay.
I'll definitely go.
Okay. We had a meeting with Waste Management. Bob Rowe, Eric Burbank, and I had a meeting with Waste Management to discuss the staging. They are aware that we do not want staging. They have made, excuse me, they have made adjustments both to their residential and commercial pickups so that they can prevent the staging. They said that on occasion, if you know, due to traffic or something, the truck might be a half a block or a block away, but they're not going to be staging bags. We told them that if they do, we will continue to give out tickets. We did talk about key streets, Valley, Prospect, Parker, Irvington. On Valley in particular, because if the trucks are out there, it just backs up the traffic so much. So they might do some staging there as long as the truck is on a side street. So this way they'll send the person down, put all the garbage, the truck will be on the side street, and then they'll swing around and pick up the garbage. So we'll see how this works. Our reports are that the staging has gotten much better, or it's non-existent pretty much, and things are moving forward. So we got their attention, and they want to work with us. Number 4, we have talked to the Township Committee this Saturday. We'll be at the Department of Public Works from 9 a.m. to noon. And if anybody wants to come and talk to us, that's where we will be. And my last thing is want to compliment the Maplewood Community Music. They did a holiday concert at the Bergdorf Center for the Performing Arts on Saturday, and it was really a very nice event, and I want to thank them for their volunteer efforts. And with that, unless someone has anything else, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
Oh, moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh yeah, we're going to adjourn first, and then we're going to open up the meeting of the ABC. Do I need to read that again, or just continue? Okay,
No,
so
we'll just adjourn first.
we'll adjourn as a Township Committee. I think that is a record. And
I know. 8:08.
What happened to 15 minutes from later?
and Ms. Fritzen, you're going to take the role of the ABC?
Yes. I'm actually then going to switch with Mr. Desiderio.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be opening up the meeting of the Maplewood Local ABC. And let me take a roll call first. Mr. Brownlee?
Here.
Mrs. Larrier?
Here.
Mr. Leventhal?
Here.
Mr. Ryan?
Here.
And Mayor DeLuca.
Here.
Do the applicant and the seller want to come up to the first row? Please. Does anybody else, do you need another copy of the application that I had sent?
Yeah. Yes. Only because it's too small on my phone.
Mayor and committee, this is a person-to-person transfer of the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company plenary distribution license number 071144002 001 to Pradesh LLC. It's going to be a pocket license at this time with no specific location. Counsel, would you come up to the microphone, please? And would you enter your appearance?
Good evening. My name is Kurt Maida. I'm the attorney for the applicant, Pradesh LLC. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for having us, committee members and counsel, and Ms. Fritzen.
Okay. Mr. Maida, if you would you have your clients come up? If you'd allow me to swear them in, a client or clients come up, allow me to swear them in.
Yeah.
Whoever's going to testify. Gentlemen, before you do that, gentlemen, will you raise your right hand? Is the other gentleman swear? You raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, and if you give us your names and addresses, please.
Minesh Patel, 131 Gillian Court, Dover, Delaware, 19901.
Okay, and come by the microphone.
Pradeep Patel, 55 Liberty Lane, Franklin, New Jersey, 07416.
Okay. Mr. Maida, you want to tell us about this proposed transfer, please?
Yeah, it's essentially, counsel, it's a pocket license. My clients are in the process of looking for a location in town to open up a beer and wine store. They have been diligently pursuing different leads with a number of realtors in the area. Have not been successful yet, but they are continuing the search after the holidays for an actual physical location.
Okay, and this is a limited liability company, and how are these gentlemen related to that limited liability company?
They are the two sole exclusive members of the LLC.
Okay. Do they hold any other liquor licenses?
No, they do not, sir.
Okay. And if you would you have one of them offer testimony regarding the source of the funds for the purchase of the license?
You want to come up and explain where you got the money purchase?
Okay, I had a store before in Paulsboro, New Jersey. I sold that business in 2000 last year. That's why I have the money for that.
Okay. And do gentlemen have any experience in the wine and liquor business?
Yes.
Where's that experience from?
We had one store in Delaware, and we worked there too.
Okay. And you recognize that you have an obligation to assume any and all outstanding obligations, financial obligations of the licensee that you're taking. Do you understand that? Under the terms of the transfer? If A&P owes money to a vendor, you have an obligation to pay that. Do you understand that?
No, I think that is clear, right?
Yeah, it's already been clear, but you understand that the city, with the cities.
My assumption is that they don't have anything outstanding, but that is your obligation. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Members of the committee, if you have any questions, Ms. Leventhal.
Yes. What I have a question about is, it was spoken that a beer and wine store location is being sought. Is this license limited to beer and wine, or is it all liquor?
No, it's all liquor.
Okay, thank you.
All liquor, and these applicants will have to come back before you when they get a location.
Thank you.
So it's not that they can just open; they have to. They will. You understand that, Mr. Mayor, right?
That's
okay.
understood. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, counsel.
Anyone else? Mr. Ryan?
Given that there's no place associated with it and they've passed all the rules, this seems like a no-brainer to me.
Okay. I'm not arguing with you, Mr. Ryan.
Yeah, I would just like to let you know that we do have information about what's available here at the town as far as business rentals. So we do have a person that works with business owners, so if you were to get this evening, you might want to contact our person here to help you look for or talk about a site.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Patel's, you understand that Maplewood does have some limitations that will be associated with this transfer, and that is that you have to post signs at the cash register which advise the customer that consumption of alcoholic beverages on the streets of Maplewood is prohibited. Do you understand that? You understand licensee will not offer straws or extra paper bags to their customers. You understand licensee will not offer free cups to their customers. Gentlemen, you got to verbalize your answers, okay, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Licensee will not ice down 50 milliliter, 100 milliliter, or 200 milliliter bottles of liquor or individual cans of beer. Do you understand that? Licensee agrees to maintain the areas in and about their store when you find a place and keep them free of debris. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And that there will be no liquor may be sold in any container commonly called a miniature. Do you understand that?
Yes.
No beer may be sold in single quart-size containers. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Just give me a second. Members of the committee, the applicant has in all respects complied with the requirements of the statutes of the state. Fingerprinting has come back without any issues. Said applicant has complied with the ordinances of the township essential to the transfer. The applicant has disclosed all financial information pertinent to the transfer. The applicant has submitted a sworn statement affirming that they will assume all outstanding obligations of the transferor. And the said applicant has published on August 12, 2013 and August 19th in the Maplewood South Orange News Record the intentions of the transfer. No objections were received in writing by Ms. Fritzen, the Township Clerk and Secretary of Local ABC. I would just ask if there is anyone in the audience who objects or wants to offer any comment with regard to this transfer. Let the record reflect that no one has responded. That being said, I ask the committee if you are prepared to move forward with a resolution on this transfer.
Yes.
Everybody's prepared? Yes.
That being said, if I may read the resolution. This is a resolution of a person-to-person transfer. Be resolved that the application having been made to the Township Committee of the Township of Maplewood to transfer Pradesh LLC as a pocket license at this time with no specific location, with the Township Clerk, Secretary to Local ABC retaining license until which time a location is specified, following that by an additional publication and approval hearing. That plenary retail distribution license number 071144002001 hereto issued to Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company be transferred. Said applicant having in all respects complied with the requirements of the statute of the state and the ordinance of the township to the transfer of such license, and said applicant having submitted a sworn statement affirming that it will assume all obligations of the transferor. The Township Clerk of the Township of Maplewood is hereby authorized and directed as agent of the Township Committee to transfer on behalf of the Township Committee plenary retail distribution license number 071144002001 issued to the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company, Inc. to Pradesh LLC is approved by the Maplewood Police Department. The foregoing license is to become effective on December 18, 2013, and the license will expire on June 30, 2014. Mr. Maida, that all licenses expire on June 30th and are subject to renewal at that time.
That's our understanding, yes, sir.
The following shall be adhered to, and those are the enumerated requirements that I indicated before. The license is subject to the rules and regulations hereafter adopted by the governing body, as well as by all other lawful authority, as well as to all the statutes of this state, the federal government, and such other cases made and approved. That is the form of resolution. If someone would be willing to move that, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, and I apologize because I don't have the cheat sheet. Mr. Brownlee?
You don't know our names by now, Mr. Secretary?
Well, that's the alphabetical listing. Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Ms. Larrier?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Gentlemen, congratulations.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good luck.
Have a good evening.
I will tell you, there is a gentleman from the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company, and he introduced himself as Mr. A earlier in the evening. So exactly, Mr. P couldn't.
P
Mr.
wasn't
P
around.
couldn't.
Listen, I used to work for the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company down in Ortley Beach.
My father used to work.
Two summers, a long time ago.
My father used to work for the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company on
That's
Staten
it, right?
Island.
We're done?
We're done.
Okay, thank you very much. We are finished for this evening. We'll be back here on January 1st,
So, Mr. Maida,
2014.
Mr. Maida, we'll give you a copy of the resolution, and when they find a location,
Looking at you,
Yes,
I'm saying,
we'll be in touch.
look
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
familiar.
Good luck, gentlemen.
that's here.
Over.